You know, I'm always telling you to keep the lips nude so that you don't distract attention away from your eyeballs, but this look is kind of special, and in the holiday spirit, I think we should give it a try. We're going to do this kind of nude eye look with very little mascara, very little eyeshadow, the bushy, darker brows, and the burgundy lip. Let's get started. Let's get started with the brows. I've already added some brow gel to them. I'm going to take our blonde brow powder from Science of Pretty on a dampened brush, and I'm just going to create a line at the base of my brows and then start making little hair-like strokes upward. This is going to give us the max amount of texture. If you already have dark textured brows, you may only need a brow gel to just push them up and give them that sort of bushier look that is really balancing well with the lips. So you're creating focus on the eyes by creating balance in the lips and the brows, if that makes sense. So we're going to add a little bit of brow powder to the brows, and then we're going to go back in and give them a little bit more texture with a brow pencil. So I'm just adding in my blonde brow powder, doing 2 different colors and 2 different types of products in your brows, especially if you have thin brows like mine, is always going to give you your best brows. It is a little bit more time consuming to do both products and add the gel first, but it is definitely worth it in the end. So let's go in and add just a few dark hair strokes to add that texture and dimension to the brows with our brow pencil. And then we're going to use that brow powder again on the eyes. So now we've got our bushy, darker brows. I wore this the other day and my daughter just about came out of her skin. She was like, "I don't know, Mom, I think it's too dark." And I kept the faith and I kept wearing it, and I ended up loving it, and she ended up loving it too. So this might take you a little bit of getting used to, but trust the process and give it a try, and trust other people's opinions over your own, because they're probably a much better judge of what is actually looking unique and good and youthful on your face. All right, I have a medium fluffy brush, and I'm going to add just a little bit of this to the crease of my eyes, and this is going to be basically our whole eye look is based on this color. We're not going to add much else to it, so I'm just taking that color and really working it into the crease, going all the way into the tear duct, all the way out to the last lash in a rainbow shape. You want to do about 20 passes and then start moving your brush upward just millimeter by millimeter until the brush is actually touching the brows, and that is just going to push back the hooded eye effect and sort of give a little treatment to the headlights so that we often have right here, the bright spot in the crease. So I'm going to get this one on 20 times, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You'll pick up muscle memory and get the hang of this, but you'll have to start out kind of slow if you've never done this movement before. So don't be frustrated. It just takes a little bit of practice and you'll build new muscle memory right away. All right, there is our eye look. We're going to add one other thing. The mascara is very understated, so we are going to just put a little bit of mascara right at the base of the lashes. I'm going to take a small brush and pull off a little bit of mascara and just stamp it at the base of my lashes, and then pull through with a small brush that has just a little bit of mascara on it. And that's going to give us just a little bit of definition in the eyes without giving us a big showy set of lashes. Let's do the other eye. You're going to probably stab yourself in the eye. It's part of the process. Let's get just a little bit more on this lash line. And now we are going to move to these glowy, dewy, very nude and sort of rosy cheeks. Let's get started with the Science of Pretty Fall Blush. This is the perfect color for this look. I was so excited when I came across this because I'm actually sad I didn't come up with it myself, but I am definitely inspired. So we're just going to take and take our finger and just kind of roll around the blush until it is blended out. And then I'm going to just take and stretch it across the cheek and over to the nose as well. The heat from your finger is going to do most of the work. This is a very long-lasting cream blush. It is not silicone based though, so it doesn't just glide on like the products that you're probably used to. It does take a little bit of effort to move it around, but in exchange for that, you're getting intense durability. All right, let's get to those lips. I'm going to use our brow pencil to line my lips. Yes, it is very scary. And then we're going to use the blush as the lip color. So let's get it started, and we're going to go in with a light layer. I seem to be glitching there, so I turned off the green screen. And I'm going to go back over it and fill in just a little bit. I'm staying right on the edge of the pink. I don't dare do an overline with this dark of a color. And I haven't even practiced this first, y'all. So I'm really hoping that this works. This was a lot of effort if it doesn't. So there is our dark liner. Now when it gets blended in with the blush, I think it's going to look beautiful and burgundy and very fall inspired. So let's take a lip brush and our fall blush, and gonna go right over the top of that dark brown pencil that we put on. And we'll do the top. I think this is working. And it gets mixed in with that brown pencil. It really is kind of a burgundy color. I was literally dreaming about this last night, thinking, can I pull this off? Is it gonna work? And oh my gosh, I think it really is. And it might even be a prettier color because it doesn't have the red tone underneath it. So it's a little bit more neutral. This should be easier to wear for a wider variety of people. And there we go. We have a dark lip and a sort of nude eye with a rosy glow. What do you think? Are you going to try it? All we used to do this look, I used the custom complexion bundle on my skin first, but all we used was the brow pencil, the blonde brow powder, which comes in a duo, those two products together, and then we used the fall blush, and I've linked those right here in my TikTok shop.